Hello friends, welcome back to Advocate Jayesh's Musings on Law. I was just going through the latest Karnataka High Court judgment on stalking. STALKING, stalking. What is stalking? The Karnataka High Court has held that is the judgment which has been given, is that merely texting messages in foul language is not stalking. So, merely texting messages in foul language is not stalking. That's the judgment which has been given by the Karnataka High Court as per criminal law as well. When you look at the relevant act, relevant law which has been passed by the parliament, you will find that stalking is much more than texting. And absolutely saying the texting of messages in foul language does not come under the heading of stalking. Stalking is much more serious offense where the privacy of the individual is the privacy of the individual is stalked. That means the person doesn't have any privacy at all. Whatever the person does inside the house or outside the house, wherever they are, the person who is talking is always on the go behind them. So there is absolutely no privacy. Their privacy is totally violated. Now earlier it was held that stalking is where the person physically pursues another person, especially ladies, into their house, looking into their house, seeing what the person is doing inside the house, basically what the particular victim is doing inside the house and as well as following outside the house. But now, since the development of technology, we have mobile phones, we have cameras, we have CCTVs, so many other technological advancements. Of course, you have the cyber crimes also nowadays, but it doesn't come under that. Unless the privacy of the individual is being stalked. So that also is known as stalking. So even through technology, when a person's privacy is violated, it is known as stalking. It is included under the term stalking. Now, physically stalking we can understand. Just walking behind the person or going behind the person, seeing what the person is doing at any time of the day or night. All these amounts to stalking. Doing it technologically when a person is being stalked, how do you determine that? That is what Honorable Karnataka High Court has done in this particular case. That is sending of foul messages using abusive language, foul language. Foul language means something which is not parliamentary. When we are angry at someone or when there's a fight in the traffic signal or something, we find people giving gully to each other, right? Shouting at each other. So that amounts to foul language. When foul language is used, when non-parliamentary language is used, parliamentary in the sense, normally we don't use such language. So any words which are used in an abusive manner or the foul language by itself, where the person doesn't deserve that, such language is being used, then it is called abusive language or foul language. So when text messages are being sent in a foul language to another person, it does not amount to stalking. Why? The very basic idea behind stalking is violation of privacy. Now by sending texts in foul language to the other person, it does not violate the privacy of the victim. Even though the person doesn't deserve such foul language or abusive language or something like that, it can amount to harassment, but it does not amount to stalking. Stalking is purely related to privacy of the person. It can be inside the house or outside the house. See, there are certain public things which are done in public interest. Say for example, you have your mobile phone, WhatsApp, it says end-to-end encryption, right? So except those, if you better example would be the Aadhaar card, PAN card and all that. And the bank, of course, the KYC of the bank, they ask you all the details about yourselves, right? But it is not about the personal life of the person. They are only asking you about your name, age, gender, etc. Okay, what is the income, so that they can determine, of course, what is the age of the person. See, these are all, though personal in nature, it does not amount to stalking. Why? That also we should understand. Because it is used for public purposes. It is used for our own safety. And it is done by a statutory authority. Which is the statutory authority? It is done by the court, or it is done by the government in rule, which is ruling, whichever the government which is ruling. Therefore, since it is done for our safety and for public purposes, therefore, even though they ask the personal details of a person, it doesn't amount to stalking by the government or stalking by the court or whatever it is. When we file a case, we give all the details. In fact, we give the address and mobile number also along with the Aadhaar card, right? But that doesn't mean that they are stalking us. By putting that rule in place, it doesn't mean they are stalking us. Okay? The statutory body which is in place or the government which is in place is not stalking. So you should remember who is stalking. That is very important. Any person to whom these things are not related. The individual by himself or herself wants to invade upon the privacy of another individual for with a bad intention, with a negative intention, or just like that for pure sake of, the person wants to know about the other person very badly. Therefore, he is stalking or she is stalking. Then, in such case, stalking becomes an offense. So, this basic difference between stalking, the basic rule of stalking is who is stalking, whom, who is being stalked, okay, what is the purpose of the stalking. These are all the three main things which you should look into before filing the case for stalking. If it is done by statutory authority or government, you cannot say it is stalking. If the person, see for example census, the government again, the state government comes, people, individuals from who have been appointed for taking the census come to our house. They ask, they come into the house, they say, how many people are there, what's your name, what's your age, okay, which gender, everything they ask, and then they go. That doesn't mean they are stalking. Okay, so these are all some small basic facts about stalking, so that anyone who wants to file a case for stalking can first think over this and then see if it is a suitable case for stalking, so that the court's honorable court's time is not wasted. Thank you.